Please do not interpret my silence as a lack of interest in you. It's essential for you to understand that my life is incredibly busy and demanding. I juggle numerous responsibilities, but even in the midst of this chaotic whirlwind, my gaze always finds its way to you. I take great pride in witnessing your journey, watching you break free from the chains that have held you back. It's a profound source of joy and satisfaction for me to see you overcoming the obstacles and limitations that once seemed insurmountable. Reflecting on the past, I can't help but feel a deep sense of regret and remorse for my actions, especially how I mistreated you. It's painful for me to admit that my ego blinded me to the incredible qualities that you possess. I was unable to appreciate and acknowledge them fully, a failure on my part that I deeply regret. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me for the hurt and pain I caused you. I'm left with an overwhelming sense of guilt for the way I behaved in the past, for the man I used to be. I want you to know that I've changed. I've evolved, and I've learned from my mistakes. The person you see today is not the same man who once broke your heart and left you behind. I've grown, not only in understanding your worth and importance in my life but also in recognizing my own shortcomings and past transgressions. The realization of your significance in my life came after you chose to walk away. It was during this time that I experienced the full force of karma, as if the universe was holding a mirror up to my actions. I reaped the consequences of my past wrongdoings, enduring hardships and pain that made me appreciate the depth of what I put you through. I lost something invaluable, and that loss made me truly understand the gravity of my past actions. I acknowledge that I allowed my pride and ego to lead me down a destructive path. I am genuinely sorry for the times when I harassed and embarrassed you. I recognize your unwavering loyalty and acceptance. You loved me for who I am as a person, not for the material possessions or wealth that I may have accumulated. Your capacity to see through the facade I presented to the world and perceive the softer, more vulnerable side of me was truly remarkable. What sets you apart from anyone else I've ever known is your ability to see through the tough exterior I often project to the world. While I might have tried to act like a confident and cool individual, you saw right through it. You saw the child within me, the one who longs for unconditional love, and who needs someone to rely on. Your ability to see this side of me makes me feel a deep connection to you, something unique and profound. It's bewildering to contemplate why I couldn't see what was right in front of my face all along. As time has passed, I've come to realize just how perfectly you fit into my life. In the past, my perceptions were clouded, and I allowed the voices of others to shape my thoughts about our connection. The truth is, I wasn't yet ready to face the person I had become and confront the potential changes that lay ahead. Back then, the very notion of change was something that sent shivers down my spine, particularly when I found myself ensnared in a karmic and toxic situation. But the moment I mustered the courage to end that chapter of my life, something transformative occurred. Suddenly, I wasn't scared of change anymore. The idea of transformation no longer induced fear. It was as if a weight had been lifted, and I felt ready to embark on a new journey, with you by my side. I began to pay heed to the voices of those who hadn't even had the privilege of getting to know you personally. It was evident to them, as it was to me, that there existed an undeniable magnetic attraction between us. People around us couldn't help but be drawn to the aura we created together. They watched us with envious eyes and anxious hearts. I must confess, the very fact that I could affect someone so profoundly, in a way I had never experienced before, was intimidating. It was as though I had uncovered a vulnerability I had never explored, and I had once regarded vulnerability as a sign of weakness. Now, I must be honest with you, I've realized that I made a colossal error. The pain of losing you has left me feeling utterly shattered. I find myself dwelling on our past, replaying every conversation and shared moment in my mind. At times, the weight of the guilt for having caused you pain and deceived you becomes unbearable. You are an extraordinary person, and I deeply regret subjecting you to the emotional turmoil I put you through. I can only hope that you'll be able to find it within your heart to forgive me, as I seek redemption. My ego, once an overwhelming force in my life, managed to convince me that I was not deserving of someone as incredible as you. I questioned why a woman of your caliber would ever choose someone like me. The resulting confusion led me to walk away from what we had. I believed, in my misguided state, that the grass might be greener on the other side. However, I swiftly learned that the allure of the other side was nothing more than glitter, a shallow facade that could never compare to the genuine, pure gold that was the connection we shared. The realization of this monumental mistake now weighs heavily on my heart, and I'm left yearning for the chance to set things right and show you just how much you truly mean to me.